the world on fire.
Welcome again, everyone, to the next episode of the Foally of Man. I'm Chris, with me here today,
Robert. And did you know that we were recently voted the best audio/video podcast about ponies that's in the southeastern region of the United States?
That's actually pretty exciting.
It is exciting.
I want to know that. I want to know the outpolling. Okay.
Welcome to the Foally of Man,
Yep.
a show where Chris, who is a Brony, and I, Robert, who is not a Brony, discuss
Spoilers.
the fan fiction Fallout Equestria by K-Cat. That pretty much summarizes it.
Yep. And this is episode 26. We're looking at chapter 29, Racing Apotheosis.
Once upon a time, in the magical land of Equestria, there were two regal sisters who ruled together and created harmony for all the land. To do this, the eldest used her unicorn powers to raise the sun at dawn. The younger brought out the moon to begin the night.
Beautiful fairy tale.
Mm-hmm. So, first and foremost, this is another long chapter.
I want to say I feel like this is pretty average for what this book is going to get into.
Well, okay. For what it gets into, but for what we've had thus far, this is...
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is
a long chapter.
This is what all the people were talking about in the comments and stuff. Don't worry, this gets long.
Yeah, well, I have a feeling that with the length of this, so we don't just have hour-long episodes over and over and over again, we're going to have to start breaking chapters up.
Let's hear your comments about it.
Would love some input. If you want long episodes, we will just keep doing long episodes, but I really worry about just... It's so much to try and cover in one episode.
Yeah, I don't want to skip anything. I really don't want to skip stuff that's important.
Right,
and because there have been times where there are things that we want to talk about that we will forget to cover just because we're kind of pressed. We feel pressed for time.
Right.
And so, yeah, we just definitely give your input on that. If you would like us to either do longer or possibly split up, see if we can come to a good conclusion as to a break point.
So, first and foremost, we start the chapter off at the safe hold, the strong haven, the hidden rock for Dashites.
Yep.
For fallen Enclave members. And the first thing we start the chapter off with is an audio log from Scootaloo. Scootaloo being, I guess, a famous Pegasus?
One of the Cutie Mark Crusaders, the trio of ponies of Sweetie Belle, Apple Bloom, and Scootaloo.
I got
who were childhood friends.
Are they second tier?
Yes.
They sound second tier.
They're second tier.
Or actually, are the friends second tier? Because so I guess it depends on how we're ranking things. Because like first tier would be Celestia and Luna, right?
Well, yeah, I thought you were going by storyline. Like story-wise, from a perspective of the show, they would be second tier.
Yeah, that's what I meant. But I was also saying that if we
from
were
a
actually
power
looking
perspective, yes, they are far down. Because Celestia and Luna are definitely.
But yeah, so these are ancillary characters to the main ponies.
Yes,
Gotcha.
Apple Bloom being Applejack's little sister.
Yep, got that one.
Yeah, and Sweetie Belle being Rarity's little sister.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Sweetie Belle and Rarity are related.
Have we found that out in the story, or was that just...
That's supposed to be a known thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I just that didn't sound familiar.
Another hiccup. See, that's
It's
what
not-
we're
no,
looking for.
No, it's not. It's not a hiccup. It's not a hiccup. It's just mantic knowledge.
Well, there is something that's pointed to
Look
later
that
on
up,
in this.
kids. Mantic knowledge. It's a fun word.
But there is something that actually was brought up later in this chapter, which kind of it points out the fact that yes, Sweetie Belle is related to Rarity.
By the way, I feel like we should bring attention to how dapperly I am dressed today. One, it's because I was working today, but two, it is in honor of Blue Blood, actually.
Oh boy.
So if I come off as a haughty stallion, you know,
boy. Yeah. So
not a proposal, an offer.
but Scootaloo is not actually related to any one of the main six, but she is a huge fan of Rainbow Dash.
She's a Dashite.
Yes. Which is what we learned in the recording.
Yes, absolutely. So, she's fallen, and she has her, she tells from her perspective, longing to one day have her own cutie mark, and now it doesn't matter because she's had Dash's brand placed over her cutie mark.
And she's proud of it because she loves Dash.
Yeah, and Calamity has the Dashite burn, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right, because we found that out early on.
It's a symbolism of falling from
and if I remember
certain type of grace.
correctly, just because I feel like I've seen it before, Dash's cutie mark is the cloud with the rainbow bolt coming out of it, something like that. Yeah. So,
I mean, obviously they can't do the rainbow coloration in the brand, but it's the same shade.
we also find out from the armor and just from Calamity saying it that he was a captain within the Enclave, that he had rank. And we find out that as captain, he had been posted to his first sub-cloud patrol. It turns out that they'd been doing it twice a year, every year, or maybe once every 2 years, or whatever it was. They were checking on how things were below. But they were essentially lying to all the other Pegasi.
Yep.
Pegasi? Yeah, I think it's Pegasi.
Yeah, Pegasi.
Yeah. They were lying to all the other Pegasi and saying, oh, well, there's no life down there. There's still nothing down there. So most of the citizens, like most governments, have no idea what is actually going on.
Oh, of course.
So, but I thought that was interesting. And so that was part of his
Keep the masses fat and happy.
That was part of his betrayal, or rather his deciding to leave, was that they were lying to people. And we also find out that he had been framed for a murder that he had never done.
Yeah.
That he had been accused of killing the members of his patrol.
Which was a new shock to him because they didn't even die when he was. They imprisoned him and kept him for 2 weeks and was like, oh, and by the way, you killed all your squad mates. How dare you? It's like, but I've been in here for 2 weeks, and they're like, yeah, they all died from suicide, from 2 bullets in the back of the head.
Oh, they got arcanicided, as they say. How did I know you were going to bring that up? Jesus.
I was going after that really weird one where the guy apparently committed suicide by shoving himself
into a bag and sinking it,
after
shooting himself in the back of the head.
After shooting himself in the back of the head and decapitating himself.
Yeah, it's hardcore, man.
And it's a really good suicide.
Hey, everybody, watch me cut my own head off with a chainsaw.
I mean, I wish maybe one day I will be that good at suiciding myself.
That sounds like some jigsaw shit. You know what I mean?
They just came out with the new Saw movie,
I know,
too.
it's called Jigsaw. Yeah, if you want to watch another good channel, Your Movie Sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Just reviewed it.
Adam.
Yeah, I was going to say, well worth checking out. And
quite the individual. Moving on.
Yeah, I know. Trotting on? Interesting. So, we also, from all of that calamity, they decide to go visit Calamity's home.
His shack.
Well, it was home.
Because,
a shack is a home.
Because it was alluded to.
Home is where the hoof is, Chris. Home is where the hoof is.
His shack, being the Dashite shack, is actually the last place that Scootaloo was supposed to be.
Baby Dash shack.
Waiting for Rainbow Dash, thinking she would come back because it was apparently Rainbow Dash's at one point.
Tin hoof. Shattered.
Oh, God.
All right, that's enough on that. But anyways, yeah. So his shack is up on a precipice.
Yeah,
kind of hard to get to. Basically, so that only Pegasi can get to it.
Exactly, which makes it very, very good in this world space because the only flyers are the Griffins, who don't care for exploration at all. They're bound to contracts with people, and Pegasi, who aren't coming below the clouds.
Correct. Yeah, so it worked out perfectly. But anyway, so but the allure of visiting there is that there is a safe that has not yet been cracked.
Well, that's what she was really down, and Calamity was like, "Come on, Pip. There's a safe," and she's like, "Okay,
okay." But anyways, so to get up there, Calamity, who's just worn out, he can barely fly himself up there. But little Pip, it's proposed that little Pip should try and levitate herself there. Excuse me. And we find out, little Pip does, envelops herself in the kind of anti-gravity spell and kicks off from the ground and begins to lift up and then immediately starts to slow down. And then little Pip, through sheer force of will and just like tensing every muscle in her body, begins to continue to lift and lift and lift and lift. And she just barely gets to the shack.
Gets just completely worn out.
Yeah. But she did it. For a few brief moments, she was, in fact, flying.
Mm-hmm.
It exhausted her, but it's something that hardly anyone else has been able to do, to actually levitate herself.
Those butterflies in the sky? She can fly twice as high.
Jesus Christ.
Read a memory orb.
Yeah.
Go insane. Fall off the ledge. That's not actually how the song goes, but...
Right. Well, but so she gets in there, and I can't remember, is the memory orb in the safe?
No, it's one she had from previous.
Oh, I got you. But it's a cracked memory orb. It's a damaged memory orb.
And she's like, this is a fantastic opportunity for me to probably do something that's really dangerous.
She's dumb. Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Curiosity. When it comes to memory orbs, she's not got a great track record.
Curiosity killed the Pip. Again, remember, she's very lucky. High luck.
The Calamity brought
High
her
luck.
back.
But anyways, so she gets into the memory orb, and of course, as she describes it, searing, burning pain envelops her body because it's a cracked memory orb, and of course that's not good. And of course, bad things can happen, but we don't know about what happens to her because she falls into the memory, and it's a familiar sensation, a very familiar sensation. She realizes that she is a zebra cloaked in Rarity's office, as Rarity is having a conversation with who we find out is Blue Blood. Mm-hmm. Now, I thought in the recording that they were saying Blue Bud, as in it was some kind of play on words, but you're telling me no, that it's just Blue Blood.
Yeah, he's
Prince Blue Blood. It's so funny, and it's what an opportunity or a missed pun there. In my, because everything is always referencing someone else.
I think it'd be a little far for at the time when Lauren Faust, because this Blue Blood is introduced in the first season, and that her writing for that was definitely aimed at a younger audience. I think she was trying to be a little hammier with
but little kids don't know what Blue Blood is.
Well, the parents do, and they're going to catch on to Blue Blood.
But then why not Blue Bud?
But the thing is, like, if you're hearing it in passing, it's going to catch your attention way more.
All I'm going to say is missed opportunity. Everyone's name is in reference to something real. In that universe, Blue Blood, there's nothing natural with Blue Blood other than crabs. You know what I mean?
Very specific kind of crab.
Right. I'm just saying, it's missed opportunity.
Yep.
Missed opportunity. But not a clopportunity. So anyways, with Blue...
Actually, not a crustacean, it's a...
Moving on. Spider. Yeah, arachnid. You're talking about a horseshoe crab.
Yeah, they're arachnids. So.
Anyways, moving on.
TIL.
Yeah, so... Great. So anyways, moving on. So Blue Blood refers to himself as royalty, as a prince. Mm-hmm. So what's going on with that? Supposedly, anointed by Celestia?
It is never explained in the show, as far as I know. It's not been explained in the early show.
Because he's a unicorn, not an alicorn.
The prevailing fan theory is that, at least the one that I was familiar with, is that Celestia would take on courtesans occasionally.
Oh, whoa.
I mean, just like... Look, you're around for several thousand years.
Actually, in this universe, it really would be brown chicken, brown cow.
Okay. And that he is descended from one of the heirs of the courtesans, and so that's why he considers Celestia his aunt, is because he is of the lineage of one of those courtesans. That's just that. But I don't, as far as I know, there's no official statement.
Yeah, I was gonna say it makes sense. Well, I mean, in the main show, they don't talk about sex. Well, they reference it with the parents, the Earth ponies.
Oh yes, the two Earth ponies who have a Pegasi and a unicorn child, as well as Applejack's statement when she gets her countryisms back, saying that she can buck like a 2-bit snake charmer in a. Like a barn, some kind of barn, but it's like she can buck like a 2-bit snake. Oh, this is a children's show. Of course, that was the Marxism episode. So, sorry, we can't say that communism episode.
Oh, sorry. Yes, more specifically. Let's see here. I also want to make a point. Little Pip removes the. Oh well, I'm sorry, we're not done with Rarity. Anyways, God damn it, there's so much to cover. All right.
And that's why.
So, Rarity basically, he's saying you should take my offer, his offer being a proposal, that being that she marry him, and he's like, if you marry me, of course we'll have to be intimate at some point or whatever. He's so full of himself. And even Rarity, who's totally full of herself, is like, wow, man. Yeah, I don't know what to do with you.
He's got his head so far up his own ass he could perform his own tonsillectomy by sight.
No kidding. Anyways, the same lease. Well, anyway, she says, I'm the head mayor here, and I hold the power. Basically, like, I can't complain about what you're saying to anyone else because I'm the one I would complain to. By the way, security.
Yeah.
Please escort this gentleman out.
Yep. Matriarchal society.
But what we know is, so we're seeing this from the perspective of a hidden cloaked zebra. And the zebra draws a wicked blade and sneaks up on Rarity, and Little Pip is certain that she's about to watch the assassination of Rarity, when all of a sudden, our host seizes up and falls to the ground. Rarity had been completely aware that she was being watched because of the gem in the stealth, in the cloaking. I don't want to say a device. It was a
cloaking cloak.
No, not a cloaking cloak. But they call them fetish. It was a cloaking fetish.
Yeah.
I was trying to
A
use the
magical
proper
fetish,
term.
yeah.
A magical fetish. I was trying to use the proper terminology. And I love that she says the line.
But not a magical kink. That's something else completely.
I would
Ask your parents.
tell you how I got my cutie mark, but it's not going to matter where you're going.
Yeah.
So obviously, her
And
cutie
then calls
mark has-
Pinkie Pie and be like,
I have
Pinkie,
someone for you."
I have one for you.
Yep.
Rarity's cutie mark, I'm sure you know.
Oh, and the
is,
zebra keeps like trying to drag itself along the ground to like get to its blade, and she's like, "Oh, no, that's not how this is going to work."
You have no chance.
Yeah, let me just take that blade away from you. No, this is
This is not safe for you. This is going in the dustbin.
Yeah.
But Rarity's cutie mark is 3 diamonds.
diamonds. Yeah,
She got her cutie mark by when her magic finally kicked on. It activated a physical homing spell
for gems.
The story is how it worked is it drug her to a rock in the middle of nowhere, and she's like, "A rock, my destiny
Is a rock.
is a rock."
Better than I ran. But
But so she hits it and it cracks open. It's actually a geode filled with gems. So yes.
Cool.
Interesting point. The field in which she finds that rock is the Pleasant Valley, where all the gemstones are mined.
Well, I'll be darned.
Yep.
Food for thought.
Food for thought.
Food for a dragon.
Yes.
All right. So
That non-enclave personnel.
we fall out of that memory. Turns out that Little Pip plummeted, like was thrown out and plummeted out of the shack, to which Calamity and Velvet Remedy had to catch her with all of their strength. Calamity already exhausted. Velvet Remedy, who does not do levitation spells very well.
No.
Anyways, and they are pissed. They are mad as hell. What the fuck were you doing?
The hell were you thinking? You just leapt off and started flailing around like you were dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
But anyway, so they're in the shack and they're talking about setting some things straight and how Little Pip, it's like, you cannot use those unless we are somewhere safe and we can watch you. We can't have you writhing on the ground like she was fighting in the air.
Yeah.
Like,
Spazzing.
Rarity, no.
Yeah, having complete, night terrors.
Yeah. So anyways, but then Calamity also gifts to Little Pip the Rainbow Dash figurine.
Yep.
And when Little Pip picks it up, puts it in her saddlebag, she is overwhelmed with, positive energy and feels like she can accomplish anything. And
Be awesome.
Yeah, and be awesome. Yes, feeling
That's the
super
A stands
agile.
for in special.
Yeah, and her figurine actually does say "be awesome" because that's all it really could say. And Little Pip, of course, says to Calamity, why don't you want to have this? You're a Dash. And he says, listen, I have her cutie mark branded onto my flanks. That's as close as I ever really need to be to Rainbow Dash. I have a reminder of her everywhere I go, which is pretty sweet.
Feel her throughout the night, too.
So they decide they're going to Tin Pony Tower to see Homage and to warn the ponies inside that they need to leave.
Yep.
And they're in the Sky Bandit?
Yep, Sky Bandit.
Sky Bandit.
Play on the Highway Bandit.
Highway Banditman, yeah. So they're in the Sky Bandit. And of course, Red Eyes has completely encircled Tin Pony Tower. And he has griffins around and has an alicorn posted up on top of Tin Pony Tower because they thought they'd sneak in through the top of Tin Pony Tower. And of course, there's an alicorn there. Fight scene ensues. They even shoot an Eldritch-style lightning bolt at the carriage, to which Zenith picks Little Pip. Oh, I should say Little Pip was having to levitate the car.
Yeah,
because
the
batteries had run out.
Yeah, and Calamity's just absolutely exhausted.
Yeah, he's exhausted.
And thankfully, Velvet had enshrouded the vehicle with her shield.
But anyways, Zenith, seeing the lightning bolt coming and knowing that she has the whatever that grounding perk was.
I can't remember.
But anyways, well, or I'm sure somebody will correct us. For whatever reason, Zenith couldn't be shocked, so she picks up Little Pip and throws her on her back, so that Little Pip can focus on the levitation spell. Yeah. Whereas Velvet Remedy and
Steelhooves?
No, the Balefire Phoenix.
Oh yes, Pyrelight.
Pyrelight, thank you. And Pyrelight, they get electrocuted in the they fall limp in the thing. Oh, and we totally forgot to go over the Steel Hooves and his faction of outcasts coming together.
Oh, yeah.
That happened earlier in the chapter. Basically, there's not a lot to report there, but Steelhooves essentially says, that he's glad that he never met his offspring. He never met his child.
Yeah.
Because everything that happened at Stable 2 is his fault. That's how he feels.
Yeah.
And there's now civil war amongst the Steel Rangers.
Yep.
But there's a lot of Steel Rangers who will side with Steelhooves.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And they've gummed up all the communications so that the elders can't communicate, and they're locked up, and there's like whole factions within stables that would join them. So it looks like there's a pretty decent chance, but Little Pip, of course feels responsible, but they're like, no, these are problems that we've had. You in fact saved us because
he should have done this a long time ago.
Right.
He really should have, and he didn't. And this
he's
her
only
action,
had 200 years.
Yeah, her intervening switched over how everything worked. So
anyways, let's just summarize. We need to move along a little bit quicker. So we do get into Tin Pony Tower. We get to see Homage. Little Pip introduces Homage to Zenith. Zenith, of course, doesn't want to be touched. Doesn't want to shake hands. Doesn't want anything. But the offers.
Shake hooves.
Yeah, shake hooves. Little Pip offers for Zenith to be able to use the mass spy system to try and locate where her daughter is, which she perks up at the opportunity to do that. And a very awkward sexual innuendo in your endo begins. Just Homage very blatantly saying in front of them about giving Pip orgasms and stuff like that.
Yeah, she does that.
It's a very awkward couple of minutes there.
We went over this a while back, where in this setting, it makes a little more sense for people to talk about their sexuality in an open way. Like in Skyrim, how you could marry anyone just by pretty much wearing the necklace of Mara, simply because, and their
amulet of Mara.
The amulet of Mara. And their reasoning for this was, look, it is a hard life, and there ain't much happiness to it, and we're gonna die. Probably pretty soon because of the dragons. Yeah, let's get checked. I mean,
so anyways, everybody gets taken care of. And they also say that they want to take care of Ditsy Doo and give her a gift.
Oh yes, muffins.
Ditsy Doo? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, got that right.
Muffins.
Yeah, muffins. And gets Homage and Zenith to agree to both bake muffins for Ditsy Doo. And it's funny because as a ghoul, she doesn't have to eat, but she likes muffins.
She does love muffins.
Yeah. Loves muffins.
Loves muffins.
Would marry muffins.
Yes.
What you need to find for Ditsy Doo is introduce her to the Muffin Mare. Do you know the Muffin Mare?
The Muffin
Mare? Yeah, the Muffin Mare.
Okay, we're not going to do that skit. We're not going to do that skit.
Ditsy Doo is married to the Muffin Mare.
Okay, we have to keep going. Everybody knows that skit. Everyone has
I know.
seen Trek.
All right. So, and it's been 16 years now.
I don't want to think about it. Let's keep moving.
I know. All right. So anyways, Little Pip and Homage finally have a moment together, and Little Pip comes clean about a couple of things. For one, what Steelhooves did to what's-his-face down in the basement.
Yep.
The truth about that. And she's like, oh, well, okay. That's, good.
Got it coming.
Thanks for being honest. Yeah, he's a bad guy. Clearly a bad guy.
Was a bad guy.
Yeah, was a bad guy. Now
he's got a paste.
He's dead now. But he didn't blow up. Let's see here. Talks about a couple other things, and Little Pip is saying, we need to get everybody out. What can we do? And Homage basically reveals that there's a secret society that exists within Tin Pony Tower that actually runs Tin Pony, that she knows the people who run it, and that there is a tremendous amount of arcane knowledge and technology within Tin Pony Tower that if they vacated Tin Pony Tower, Red Eyes would have access to and would be very, 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 very bad.
Very...
super bad.
Yeah.
We also find out about bypass spells.
Yep.
Or talk about bypass spells. Homage talks about. We've already had that hinted at and talked about. But it has to do with bloodline. Bloodline is important. Which we already had some ideas since bloodline has been a theme in this.
Well, I mean, you can do it through bloodline, or you can do it through a very specific kind of like equational, like a key spell.
Right.
To it, so that's a double bypass. There might be another way which would make it a triple bypass, and I'm sure there's a fourth way, because then otherwise you couldn't have a quadruple bypass.
But anyway, so we get in, we find out that there's a tremendous shield power that the alicorns are able to access, but not at full strength. But we have seen it at full strength with the super alicorn that we came across.
The alicorn behemoth.
Behemoth, yeah. but there's shielding within Tin Pony Tower that protects Homage, and Homage is able to pass through it because of her bloodline.
Yep.
And she's one of only 3 in the tower that has that capability.
Yes.
But we also have Little Pip reveals to Homage that there's a chamber that Homage reveals to Little Pip inside Tin Pony Tower.
Yes, the Mega Spell Chamber.
The Mega Spell Chamber. And this is when Little Pip reveals to her that she is one of the few ponies in the Wasteland who so embody the elements of
honesty.
Well, for her, the element of honesty, but the elements of harmony.
Yes.
And that she, and so far, they've only identified her and Ditsy Doo as 2 members.
Yeah, Ditsy Doo's laughter.
Yeah, with the capability of doing that, which is like suddenly a heavy burden on Homage. And here, Homage already kind of had that position. Realizing I can't leave Tin Pony Tower because the Wasteland needs me. I give information to ponies and, I give them hope and...
Yeah, before there is a definite separation there, where before, as a DJ, her importance as an individual is based upon her ability to disseminate knowledge in a positive light that drives people to do good. And that's something that really any pony in this universe could really do. You have to find as you select individuals, but as the element of honesty, she is now like untouchable. There's not somebody who can just replace her on a whim, kind of thing,
right?
With just a simple voice correction spell.
And basically, Homage had been using that room on Small Hand. Basically, it turns out that that's the room that can be used to purify things.
Yes.
And she'd been using it on potted plants, but it removes taint, removes everything. Mm-hmm. But the problem is it can be corrupted again. Yeah,
and it only works on a very, very small scale, and that's what she was talking about. That's what Omar was saying, is there's no way that you can actually possibly use this in any meaningful capacity, because it can only be used with extraordinary focus on one thing, and it can't do that much, and that's when Little Pip goes, well, actually... So yeah, that's when they go through the Gek thing.
And using the, then sex occurs.
And sex occurs.
Yeah. Bow, 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 bow. We also, Zenith, utilizing the whatever acronym it is that spies on people, is able to see where her daughter might be. She was able to track the movements of her tribe. She didn't see her daughter, but she doesn't know for certain, but she has an idea where they might be.
Yep.
They then move on from Tin Pony Tower after they've had time to rest, relax, recuperate. They head on to their ultimate mission, which is to go to Maripony and to take on the goddess. And
your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to kill a god. How does that work exactly?
Yeah. And anyways, they arrive at Maripony, and they've been expecting them.
Yes, it ends up that on the way there, they could barely make out a large yellow exclamation point floating above the structure.
What?
Not knowing what it was, they decided to go up and press the activate key, and it ended up being another mission. And you also get the backstory of where the goddess comes from and why it was important that everybody yelled at you, but you need to know about Trixie's cabin from several episodes ago. And I was like, shh, shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, again, more characters come to light that it's like, all right, I get the feeling this is somebody important. But
yeah, after everybody in the comments is like, hey, I don't mean to burn you guys. I really don't. It's just, it was one of those scenarios where I'm like, you're not going to give something away, but by showing it off greatly, if there's any minutia that's related to the character that you could pick up as, if you knew it, it's important that he doesn't focus solely on that, because the only importance that he has on this character is that you guys see them as important. And so he's going to pick up on that.
Well, there's a way that the story works, is that they say K-Cat presents someone's name as if it's a reveal.
Yeah.
And that's kind of become a trope within the story.
Yeah.
So that's all I was commenting on. I kind of can know, and when it happens, I'm like, all right, this is somebody from the show that I just don't know who they are.
Yeah.
It clearly is important. It must be a good reference.
Yeah.
So. But anyways, so they are sort of pseudo-captured, but more led in
Yeah.
to parlay. Parlay is the term.
Parlay.
To parlay. And
Sounds
the
tasty.
offer is, I won't kill you right now, but I need you to do something for me. And as is presented in the games, another scenario is presented of, well, I know he asked you to get rid of me. Well, I'm going to ask you to get rid of him.
The Mechanist and the Antagonizer, anyone?
Yeah. Well, also just kind of the Enclave and the Brotherhood of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a common theme in the game that you're playing sides against each other. You have an option, and it's already been done in this story once between God and
Deadeye.
Deadeye. That's right. I knew it was a Eyes. There was multiple Eyes characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's Dead Eyes and Red Eye.
Oh, Red Eye. That's right.
Yeah.
So
better
anyways,
than Pink Eye, but not as good as Pink Eyes.
now if you mixed White Eye with Red Eye, is that how you get to Pink Eye?
Who's White Eye?
I'm just saying.
Oh.
Maybe. Well, actually, Deadeye sort of
Snowdrop.
is Pink Eye.
Snowdrop is White Eye.
No, you know how you get pink eye is if you back your eyeball up to another, the south-facing end of a northbound pony.
Yes. That's a good one.
The southbound end of a northbound pony. But anyway, so we see the goddess reveals a video log from Twilight Sparkle herself. From Maripony. Basically, an experiment that is conducted on Trixie to turn her into an alicorn.
Used by some sort of virus which forces an evolution. I don't know. Yeah,
something to that effect. But anyways, and so that goes poorly.
Very.
Shit goes to pot, as it were. And then we get a video log from Twilight Sparkle later, after the bombs have dropped. And essentially where she was completely protected. It was built to withstand a blast nearby. And she originally had hoped to continue her research. In her mind, they were so close. That was the solution to the war. Just make more goddesses. And then you'll just brute force the ponies into surrendering.
Look,
that was her
if we
plan.
just do-
That was her plan. Her plan
Look.
was to World War II Japan.
Yeah. Look, what you need to know is we can win if we just do this one more thing. Just this one. Just this next little step.
This will be the last time. But
On a
you
completely-
said that the last time.
On a completely unrelated note, if you haven't read the book, if you give a mouse a cookie, now's a fantastic time.
Yeah, pause right here, read the book,
It's a
come
children's
back.
book. It'll only take you 5 minutes.
Yeah. You could probably find a pirated version or a dramatic reading on YouTube.
Oh, that would be the best.
All right, so anyway, then the goddess presents herself as the floating head of Oz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except now there's not a man behind the velvet curtain.
Yeah. Or is there anything behind the velvet curtain?
There isn't even a velvet curtain.
I mean, it could just be an illusion. Oh, we should
there's
also
a
say
Velvet Remedy, but...
the video log was finished with Twilight Sparkle being holed up, the door being flung open, Trixie in an ethereal form, basically dragging her into a vat of goo.
You're coming with me.
Yeah. We'll live forever, you and I.
You and I.
So, yeah, I think that's the chapter.
Nope.
Oh, there's one more thing?
There is one more thing. We still have to talk about how...
Oh, right. Red Eye has been hoarding the unicorns because he wants to become a god.
Yes.
Yeah, so this idea of, well, I will die and ascend, nah.
Like that picture I sent you. Stallions,
Yeah. Trixie.
in politics,
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah. Trixie, or the goddess, reveals that Red Eye, they had a tacit agreement that he would send her unicorns for her to turn into alicorns, and that she would lend alicorns to him for protection and brute force. And he has not sent a unicorn in over a year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you know those numbers. I mean, because he's a bureaucrat. That's what he's going to do. He's going to hide them in between the numbers. He's going to hide all those unicorns in the books. I mean, there's really big books, but I mean, he's got to hide them
And
somehow.
specifically, the goddess sends little Pip to recover the Black Book.
The Black Book.
Yeah.
From Canterlot.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
The happiest little place on earth.
Is there still the pink fog there? Will we find out?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm sure it hasn't gone anywhere. All right, so now that's the chapter.
That's the chapter.
All right, that only took us a tidy 35 minutes or so.
We'll see in the future. We'll see about breaking it up.
All right. So
if you want, again, we can do longer, but prepare for us to ramble on.
So it was a good chapter. I don't want to say that about every chapter, but there's a lot to cover.
Oh yeah, I mean it is a great chapter because
the thing that they've set up that I'm really curious about it. I've been thinking about it for a couple chapters. Is that obviously, Applejack and Applejack's offspring were in stable 2. Little Pip was in stable 2. It really makes you wonder what the family connection is there. Yeah, no, I know. It's pretty obvious, but we'll find out. We'll find out as we move forward.
Now, that being said...
Great grandpapa?
Now, it being said, you will also notice that this every couple of chapters, somebody says, "Oh, Canterlot," and
we don't go to Canterlot.
We don't go to Canterlot anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, now the message is to go to Canterlot. Let's go on.
What do you know? There's a big floating icon above Canterlot. Well, shit. Nice knowing y'all.
You look down at your compass. There's a quest marker, and you're like, tick, 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 tick. Fuck.
Now, I feel like we have spared our audience this week because there is no pony pun of the week.
There's no pony pun of the week.
No pony pun of the week.
Well,
sad tuba. But we do, from our Halloween episode, which thank you everyone who watched it, have some questions.
2 questions.
Yeah.
Both from K-Cat.
All right.
First was asking me if I knew that the one of the episodes came out on Halloween. I did not. As I think I said before, I got into the book. I was like halfway through the story when the first printing was announced. So it was well after the story had finished. Because I don't read the thing in like a week and a half.
How did you find out about it to begin with? I'm just out of curiosity.
So I was looking for desktop backgrounds, and I was looking for pony desktop backgrounds because pony's cute.
As one would do on a Friday night after you've masturbated and have no more beer.
Too much information.
Sorry.
So
too honest. Hey, that's my.
I realized I was like, because no, I take it back. Actually, it was the reverse. I was looking for Fallout images for uses desktop backgrounds, and there was the picture of the power armor.
Smooth cover.
No, it was a picture of the power armor with Sweetie Belle sticking out the top.
Oh,
like she was hanging onto the edge of it, and it was being all cute, and it was adorable.
But you were already a fan of my.
Oh yeah. No, that's why I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have this. And so I set it on my desktop background for like a month,
but didn't realize where it came from.
Well, it didn't come from Fallout Equestria.
Gotcha.
Not explicitly. It's just a picture of Apple Bloom hanging on a suit of the suit of power armor from Fallout 3, like the title screen.
Yeah.
And I was looking. I like started my computer one day, and I'm like, I wonder if there's a story about Fallout and ponies, because I wasn't around EQD very much at the time. I've never considered myself to be really heavily into the My Little Pony fandom. Like, I'll call myself a brony, sure, but I've never been one to actively communicate, go onto the IRC chats, and talk with people. I don't do that at all online anyway.
You're generally antisocial in most instances.
Yes, so I didn't. So I just looked it up, and I was like, oh, it's got the legendary tag. That's cool. I wonder what else has the legendary tag. Click. Nothing. No, nothing on Equestria Daily has the legendary tag. I'm like, this is weird. So yeah, I was like, I started reading the first chapter, and then a week and a half passed, and I have no idea what happened, but suddenly it was over, and I was just, ugh. And as they say, the rest is, as they say, history.
Marestory. There's no him, okay? It's not his story. It's Marestory, all right?
Stallion.
All right, what's the other question?
The other question again was from K-Cat.
I love that you have this from memory.
Well, I mean, they're both short. Have I read the origin story snippet she created? And no, I have not. I keep intending to, but
I feel like there's a question for me.
There may have been. Did we answer both of those? Go ahead and
which ones? Oh yeah. All right,
sort through those. I'll pull this up.
Oh yeah, we've already covered that one.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about this one. I was intentionally forgetting this one.
Yeah, I've already covered this.
Yeah,
We've already covered this.
K-Cat asked, Robert, do you think Crazed Ramblings voicing of Velvet Remedy has influenced your negative opinion of
that was
her?
the one. No, it's not. It's not his reading. It is that it's hard to have sympathy for someone so self-involved.
Yeah, and what's funny is, not to interrupt, but actually what's funny is K-Cat completely agrees with you. For those interested, on our the after show for the Halloween Getting Spoopy episode, she actually goes on a several paragraph read about her breakdown of Velvet Remedy as a character. So if you are interested,
I haven't read that.
Oh yeah, if you are interested, read that because it's
sorry,
quite interesting.
Kit Kat. I didn't see all of your comment there, so I'll go back and
yeah.
and
No,
read
it's actually very interesting. She does go over kind of like the
character motivations, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
I know that there's a lot of intentionality, and I don't want Kit Kat to be upset that I just don't. I know we were being
Velvet Remedy is a bitch.
We were being a little bit facetious, saying that she couldn't eat a bullet fast enough. But the fact of the matter is that she obviously that character would exist and needs to exist. She's the symbol of vanity. If anything, she's the best modern example of rarity that there is.
Oh yeah, I mean, I hate to call her an antagonist, but I feel like there are antagonistic traits within her character.
Yeah, well, she's also kind of your. Little Pip is a good. No, she's not a good anti-hero. She is a hero. She's not. She doesn't. I mean, she jumps forward at any opportunity to save people. I'd say Velvet Remedy is more of the anti-hero, the kind of the. Oh
well, the reason I say antagonist is as an example during the
an antagonist doesn't always have to be bad.
No. But the reason that I do say antagonist is that she works against Pip.
Yeah.
On a few occasions.
Picking on her, belittling her.
Not only that, but...
screwing up situations.
Poisoning her with a dart gun to knock her out. I mean, that's a pretty...
Well,
that works against Pip's intentions.
True, but Pip had also become corrupted.
Well, true, but I mean, it works.
Oh, we also totally forgot to cover in this episode. Little Pip gets rid of the recipe for the party time mint.
Oh yes, she leaves it in the Rock of Destiny.
Yeah, which is kind of awful because somebody's going to be like, "Oh, recipe."
However, no, she did encrypt it. She did encrypt it. Well, of course, she encrypted it in the most awful way possible. Because think about this, okay? You're a junkie. You love PTMs. And somebody has on this device, okay? This device is sitting there, the recipe to PTMs. But it's encrypted. You need the destination. If for some reason they were to find Little Pip's Pip bug and look on there, he'd be like, "Oh my god, I have the other half. I can finally read it. It's deleted."
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Wah.
Written by Larry David. So yeah, the entire recipe is now gone to history.
Yeah.
In the most teasing way possible.
Marestory.
Little Pip, you cruel bitch.
Do you realize how I've very surreptitiously snuck in a pony pun of the week? Pony pun of the week!
Oh god.
Worse than Pickle Rick, the pony pun of the week.
Look, you actually have to be pretty smart to understand.
Did you see the version of that with Stephen Hawking?
Oh god!
Somebody took his voice box and said, "You actually have to be fairly smart to understand Rick and Morty."
I can't deal.
All right, you have literally lost the ability to can.
Yes, my ability to can flew out the window.
So, I know that we've had some talks. Would love feedback on the Halloween episode. I know we got some that it was like, "Oh, this is just gory. It's not creepypasta." I agree with you. It was just gory. It wasn't. It
wasn't fun.
It wasn't super spooky.
There's a
No. It was fun. We had some fun.
Yeah,
because it was really fucked. That's what makes it fun.
I think a part of that as well is when you're sharing creepypastas. I mean, some of the stuff is going to stick, some of it's not.
Yeah.
Like the story of the blanks didn't stick because, as somebody said, if you point out that it's spooky beforehand, it's lessened a little bit. And if you don't understand the importance of blanks, as I pointed out, it's not going to work. But more importantly, some of the stuff has to work on a very subliminal level, and it takes some time. A lot of the good stories are really long.
We have a couple things to keep looking at on the horizon. We had enough requests. I will go see the film.
I'll see too.
But you've already seen it.
Again.
You'll see it again. And we'll do an episode. We'll do a one-off. It will be separate from these. And we've also had enough people requesting it. We may very well start doing episode synopses.
We definitely have to do the episode synopses after this. Because the whole purpose is that we go into this, not that you aren't a fan, but that you have no intimate knowledge of the show.
Absolutely.
And therefore, seeing it fresh would,
Agreed.
would definitely...
I was just giving a tease. I was just giving a taste. Just a little taste.
Okay.
You know, so people could see into the future. You know.
Yeah.
See what's on the horizon. This is what we're doing now, but you should always have a 5-step plan. You should always have a plan of what to do.
However,
further.
that 6th step, it can eat a bullet.
Jesus Christ. All right. So, please tweet us at CriscoCast. You can also find us. You can find our Libsyn feed at thefollyofman.libsyn.com. Please email us at cbpbch@gmail.com. Again,
You know exactly what we're asking for.
that is cbpbch@gmail.com. And no, we will not change that email. That is the email.
Can you change
No.
the email?
Nope, you'd have to get a new one, and that would be a big pain in the ass.
Because all the accounts are linked to it.
Yeah, basically. Let's see here. What else? What other ways can you reach us? We are, of course, on YouTube if you are listening and not watching us on YouTube at youtube.com/Chrisco brand biscuits.
We're going to use Pony.
And I don't know if we're going to use Periscope again. I don't see any reason to since we got YouTube Live.
Yay! It works a little better.
Yeah, it does. So, that's all I have for this week's episode.
I got nothing else.
You've just given up.
I've given up.
I'm out. All right. For Chris, I'm Robert. Thanks very much for tuning again this week, and we will see you hopefully next week again. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah.
It's all over, but the cry